Ladies, do you understand how your menstrual cycle affects your diet and fitness? If not, you're not alone. Not many people do, not many women do, and even the experts. There is a significant underrepresentation of women in sport and exercise medicine research. Women essentially have 4 different stages through their menstrual cycle, and researching all of those, in addition to researching ladies who are having hormonal changes through contraceptives, through various different kinds of hormonal imbalances like PCOS, endometriosis, low thyroid. Also, they've got to consider those women who are pre-menopausal and post-menopausal. That is why most evidence and research to date on sport, exercise, fitness, and how it affects us is done with men. So the evidence to date shows that there is a decrease in energy, an increase of risk injury during the luteal phase, and an increase of energy and performance during the follicular phase. Now, what is the luteal and follicular phase? So let's take a look at the menstrual cycle and what is the follicular and luteal phases. So we're going to use a circle to represent our menstrual cycle, which, if regular, will be 28 days. And with the limited research to date, all we can provide is a generic recommendation on how to sync your workouts to your menstrual cycle and how as well you can consider your diet. So day 1 is the day that you menstruate. So we'll mark it here. And the first half of your cycle is known as the follicular phase, and the second part is known as your luteal phase. So the early part of your follicular phase, which is the first half here, is actually when your PMS symptoms start to subside. So you're going to get less cravings and your energy is going to start to increase. So once you start to bleed, this is a good sign. Start loving your periods, because once you start bleeding, we are coming into the best stages for diet and fitness. The second half is known as the late follicular phase, and here is when estrogen levels increase, and also as well, your risk to injury is at its lowest. Your energy is going to be increased and you are going to feel at the best point of your cycle right up until here, which is when we ovulate. At this point, this is where estrogen and progesterone levels are at their highest. Your BMR is actually going to increase by 10%, which is your basal metabolic rate. We'll talk about that in another video. Here you will start to feel a little bit hungrier and your body will start to reserve fat stores for a potential pregnancy. This is the best time to get in any PBs. Next, we move on to the luteal phase. So now we move on to the luteal phase, when estrogen and progesterone levels will drop if we don't get pregnant. Insulin and serotonin levels are going to be low right now. Here your energy levels are going to drop. You're going to start craving some foods perhaps, struggle with water retention, and your mood is going to drop. You might as well let the family know you're going to be a bit snappy. This late luteal phase is actually when you want to consider reducing those workouts down to low intensity, low impact workouts, as your injury risk is at the highest point. And also as well, it's worth considering taking your calories up a few hundred or up to maintenance for a few days to manage those cravings and hunger so that you don't binge. And in fact, when most people think that they're at their lowest in terms of energy and highest in terms of food cravings when they menstruate, actually it's generally beforehand. So it's the few days beforehand. So this is why tracking your cycle is really important to help you understand how you're feeling and why you're feeling that way, and how to sync your exercise, your fitness and your diet to your menstrual cycle. Now, please do remember that research is limited. This is based on the basic research that we have today. The most important tool you've got is your body, and listening to it is essential. Everybody will have a slightly different experience on their menstrual cycle if it is regular, let alone if it isn't. So do track your cycle, track your moods, track how you're feeling, and listen to your body. If your body is saying you've got loads of energy, go for it. If you're feeling lethargic, tired, and you need to rest more, then listen up.